welcome to another guide too with me, MrSealyp. The EUROTUNNEL pack. This is a new mod pack out by ModPassion. I've been asked, I've had a few requests to do a guide 2 on this, so here we are. It comes in 5 different sizes and it's an interesting one. It's I mean, at the end of the day it's a shelter. There are various different shelters and barns and placeables in game already, but this has got a few quite nifty features actually. It's an interesting looking thing. We have different arc sizes or arch sizes depending on how you want to look at it, but the arch size, I think it's the width from footprint to footprint, I think is the dimension that it gives you, and it also gives you pallets stacked up by the side. We'll have a look at those in just a second. We'll have a look in store first. So going in store, under placeables, we have got our EUROTUNNELs. So that's where they'll be once they're installed. They should be in placeables. Like I said, there are 5 available. We have got a single arc tunnel. They are all single arcs, and it does say in the Modhub that there are different versions due out that are going to be coming out. I'm not sure, I can't remember what they all were now, but anyway, they are coming out. So we've got a 6.5 metre, an 8.5 metre, a 9.3 metre, a 10.4 metre and a 12 metre. And as you can see, they show pallets on the floor, so we can place pallets inside of these to get things off the ground, to keep them dry, etc, etc. Do you need to do that? No, you don't. You could just use it as a shelter, but it's a nice addition to have, something a little bit different. And we're going to have a look at all the different options that are available within these. So when I click on the actual to buy, there's no real options in there, it just takes you straight to it. And we can obviously place a placeable as we normally do, rotate it round, zoom in and out, and wherever you want to place it. I mean, that's pretty much standard. This is going to be another one of those ones that there is a base underneath and it's a fair size one. The more level the ground is, the better it's going to be. On hills and slopes you're going to get much more pronounced ramps up the side of them, which is kind of obvious. That goes just without saying on most of the placeables. So come back out of there. The prices are 8,000, 11, 12, 13 and 15, which aren't too expensive at all. And when you look at what they can do, 15,000 for the largest one is actually pretty good. So we'll come out and we'll have a look at the actual shelters themselves, tunnels, sorry. And you look and you think, well, it's a bit of a stretch, isn't it, calling it a tunnel? I mean, technically it's an arched over shape, so it is a kind of tunnel shape. And if you notice, you've got pallets by the side of each one, enough to do the depth of it, and then 4 across in this case. That one will do 4 across with slightly bigger spaces, and then as you get to the wider ones, you've got more in the stack, so it will go across the floor of each particular one. So going into the small one very quickly, I've left the bar open in the left hand corner, just so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll explain why I'm doing it. I am on PlayStation, so this will be on the PlayStation controller. If I go inside and look up, we've got lights above, and you've got different triggers in here. So if I go under the light trigger, it now says turn on light. If I press circle, on comes the light. Turn off light, off goes the light. Amazing. Same at this end, on and off. Wonderful. Now the other triggers at the moment are hidden, but what you can do, if I press L1, it says show help icon. If I press circle, it shows me all the help icons. That's basically where all the triggers are. These ones are individuals, these ones double up. So I've got a light icon and a palette icon here. If I go in here and look at turn on light and press circle, it will turn the lights on. If I look up to, actually go onto that one and look down, it should, why is it not letting me do it? If I press X, no, why is that not doing it? Oh, R1, sorry. So if I press R1, ignore me. If I go straight on, it will give me the light option. If I go to R1, trying to get my head around this, and then press X, it says put the palette. So if I step out the way, then it puts out the first row of pallets. If I go to the back one and press R1 and put the palette, it takes them from here and it puts out the back row of pallets. I can put all 4 rows of pallets down, 1 row of pallets down. I can put the 2 middle rows of pallets down, alternate rows of pallets. It's entirely up to me how I want to do it. R1, put pallet. They disappear from here and they end up on the floor there. That's actually not too bad at all. Now, if I press, I think it's R1 again, and press X, it says remove the pallet. So if I press X again, I can take that row away. R1, remove pallet, take the row away. R1, remove pallet. No problem at all. So that's my lights and that's my pallets. I can put them out, I can take them away, it'll do them in rows. Now, these little markers here give you extensions on the tunnel. So I've got my 6.5, or 6.5 on the small one, wasn't it? Just trying to remember. Yeah, 6.5 on the small one. So 6.5 I think, like I say, is across here. But I can now extend the tunnel out this way if I want to. So if I go out to, for example, the 4.8 metre one, go underneath it and press R1, it says increase the length to 4.8. If I press triangle, it extends the tunnel out. In extending the tunnel out, it places more rows of pallets out for me, and it gives me the icons also for placing them. I can go all the way out here to 9.6. So if I press triangle, will put it back first and then back out again. So it's taken it all the way out to 9.6 metres this way. Now I can do the same thing again this way. So I can go all the way out to 9.6 metres both directions. Now, as you also notice, the longer the tunnel becomes, the more lights it then puts in. So it's now got another icon for lights in the middle. If I go out all the way out this way, it should put some more out as well. R1, triangle, out we come, and now I've got 4 light icons, 1 at either end, 2 in the middle, and all of these icons are now for placing pallets out, and all the pallets are lined up here. So it now really has become a tunnel. So from my initial start position, which only had 4 of these ribbed sections with 4 rows of pallets, I now go all the way out to all of these. It's actually quite impressive. It's a clever idea. Now, if you wanted to, and you wanted access in for vehicles either end, you could maybe put pallets in just across the middle 4 or 5 rows, so you could have everything stacked up in the middle and access it either end. Or you could have all your pallets at one end, and it's entirely up to you how you do it. Or I guess if I turn the icons off, so if I go in here now, do L1 and hide help icons, circle, it takes all the icons away, and I'm left with my tunnel. Now, as far as I'm aware, and I haven't tried this yet, I suppose you can put anything in here. You can just put bales directly on the floor, I guess, if you wanted to. You don't have to put the pallets down. I thought it would go a bit glitchy with the amount of pallets that are up the side, a bit laggy, but it doesn't seem to. It does when you've got the help icons on and you first stretch it out. It seems to go a little bit laggy, but then once it's done it, it's fine. So that's the 6.5 metre one. That works exactly the same for all of these. So if we go up to the larger one now, which is the 12 metre width, I believe, as you can see, there are more pallets in each stack now. So there should be 6, I think, in each stack, because the width is much greater. So if I go underneath now and press R1, put pallets, it will put them out for me. So I've got 6 across. Yeah, 6 across with a little bit of a gap in between. Now, I don't have to put the help icons out, I don't think. Oh, I will need to, won't I? Because otherwise I can't see them. Oh no, I don't actually need to see them, because if I walk out here now and press R1, it says increase the length. If I go a bit further out, finding it might be a little bit trickier. Let's try and get myself central. Oh, there you go, 9.6, coming a bit. 7.2. So I don't actually have to have the icons on if I don't want to, but obviously having them on just makes it a bit easier. You can go straight to where you need to be. So I can do exactly the same with this. I'll go out to 7.2 on this one, increase to 7.2. Now this one is a pretty large shelter, and like I said, for 15,000, 12 metres across and then 9.6 metres out each way, that's going to give you a fair old size shelter, plenty of headroom in there, lights all the way along. the pallets all get stacked up along, and you can see that row of pallets, that stacks there is missing because they're the ones that I put on the floor. But if I just wanted to, I could just put the stacks in the middle if I wanted to. R1, put pallets out. Do it here. Oh, now if I go across the middle of 2, will that give me both options? Oh no. It did give me options. 2 rows at a time. Okay, so if you kind of position yourself partly between 2, you might get 2 come up. Depends where you place yourself. But anyway, so I could just put them in the middle and then have access either side for bringing a vehicle in, put stuff off the ground, and there we go. So initially it kind of seems a bit confusing. It's puzzling. You've got all these icons. What do they all do? Effectively, L1, you've got your pallets. R1, pallets, and I can adjust my length, and I can do my lights. It just says turn on lights, like so. Come in a bit, R1 just does the pallets. Come out a bit, R1, and I can adjust the length, increase the length, goes back, then comes back out again. And there we go. And if I want to, if I just go back onto that again, if I say decrease, it will go right the way back to its normal size, all the way back here. Now obviously, because it's gone back to its normal size, it's taken out those rows of pallets because they no longer exist. But that's it. That's pretty much, there's no more to it than that. Each one of these is a different width. They do exactly the same thing. You can turn the icons on and off. You don't need them on once you get used to kind of where the positions are. But you can lay out your pallets in whatever configuration you want. Now the only downside I think then is you can't put your pallets out this way. So I suppose if you'd been able to put pallets out a row that side, or 2 rows and 2 rows, then had a row up the middle free, then yeah, maybe that might have been a bit easier. But it doesn't give you the option to do that. They just go in rows across this way. And that's it. That's the EUROTUNNEL pack. That's how it works by ModPassion. I like it. It's quite a clever idea. Gives you a lot of versatility. If you start off with a smaller farm and you're kind of building on what you need to do, you can start off with one of the narrow versions, and as you build on your crops and you need more space, you can extend it out as you need to, I guess. People will argue, what's the point? Putting pallets down, they get in the way, you can't drive through. Again, I guess it's up to you what you do with it, what you put in it. You don't have to put the pallets down if you don't want to. And that's it. I hope you found this useful and informative. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, thanks for watching.